It's been crazy. I'm exhausted.
And I'm driving tomorrow and Sunday, so it's going to be.
Good evening and welcome to the Board of Trustees meeting, November 26, 2019. I'd like to take a motion to close the executive session where we discuss legal matters and open the public meeting. Motion? Trustee Sullivan, second. Trustee Taylor, all in favor? Unanimous. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Deputy Mayor Cassell, your prayer.
Obviously, Thanksgiving is going to be the theme for this week. It is a time when we all gather with our friends and family to celebrate and give thanks for all the blessings that we have received. So let us keep in our prayers tonight all those for whom we are grateful, family, friends, neighbors, our community, and our country. And that's the end of the prayer portion of this, but we are not finished yet. There is another thank you to be given out to a person that we want to show our appreciation and gratitude for. And for this part, I will turn it over to Mayor-elect Rosillo.
Bob, why don't you join me by the podium, I would say.
You must stand the entire time.
I be your photographer.
So Bob, we have a certificate of appreciation from all
Throw the
of
microphone,
us.
Cindy.
Already?
Using this, right? So we have a certificate of appreciation for the mayor, for all the services he's performed for us. And I guess Liz did a great job spending a lot of time on this with pictures of
Thank you, Liz.
all of us and all the places that Bob's been, which is almost every place. So, thank you, Bob. You've been great, and I appreciate everything that you've done. And we look forward to you sharing some of your knowledge with us, and congratulations. I appreciate it. This is pretty heavy.
Just get away from that mic so that I can take a good picture without the mic.
What should we do? The
We have to do a big group picture.
Formal picture.
If there's a group picture to be had.
I may have to buy a new house.
Shouldn't have gotten so many places.
Get over there.
We're going down there? We're going down.
You should.
Then we all look like weird little.
We're little critters.
Yeah, we always have rolling light on
Forget to wear
top.
makeup to
We're little critters.
Jimmy, you want to take a picture?
I got one.
Oh, you don't?
Larry's one.
Thank you. Although they did try to keep me out of a few streets at one time. I did force my way in.
I'm lighting my hair today.
That's the first time.
I need help carrying that. I hope it's okay if I say a few words at the end. Great, thank you all very much. I did love visiting all the different places around the village and meeting with everybody, so it was always very special. Okay, so we have a presentation tonight on the village's financial report for the fiscal year ending May 31st, 2019. So Brian Kennedy, who is a partner at BST Accounting and Tax Advisory, will be giving us a overview of our financial position. Thank you, Brendan.
Good evening, everyone. I was asked to keep it under 2 hours, so I will certainly do my best. I'm going to walk you through a couple of the deliverables that we have for you as part of our 2019 audit. The first document is your basic financial statements. As you know, the financial statements are the responsibility of management. Our responsibility as GSD is to conduct an audit of those financial statements. Our audit encompasses all the activities and funds of the village. There was the governmental activities, which is the aggregate information, your 4 major funds, the aggregate non-major information, which is your non-major governmental funds, and the fiduciary funds. So we actually give we can give you that the financial statements are free of material error. So that is also known as a clean opinion and the opinion that you want on these financial statements. The financial statements is composed of a number of sections. Once you get past the table of contents, you have the independent auditor's report. And that's basically what I alluded to. The good news is that we have unmodified opinions. In the auditor's report, there's also a brief section where we mentioned the fact that we adopted a new and significant accounting standard, the ASPE 75. And then we mentioned the other areas of the financial statements, your required supplementary information and your other supplementary information. After that is what we call the management's discussion and analysis. I quickly refer to it as the cliff notes of the financial statements. It summarizes financial data. It provides some financial highlights and some summarizations of significant events that transpired during the year. Beyond that are the actual numbers, our footnotes, and then our required supplementary information or other supplementary information. For the most part, the financial statements look largely the same as they did the past year, with the exception of that new accounting standard, which is your other post-employment benefits, the ASPE 75. That standard required us to put some big scary numbers into the governmental activities section of the financial statements. But what I like to remind everyone is that those numbers were already basically disclosed as part of the required supplementary information already. So in terms of your bond raters and other people that analyze the financial condition of the village, the numbers that were included should be of no consequence because they should understand that that information was already there. Additionally, as you know, in New York State, there's no mechanism to fund post-retirement health or OPEB. So at this point, we just simply have the liability on the books government-wide. From a fund perspective, the adoption of that accounting standard had no impact. So our general fund, which is largely used to measure the financial condition of the village by bond raters and other constituents, is in very, very strong shape. I took another look at it this morning, and I noticed your unassigned fund balance combined with your assigned as a percentage of your total expenditures is at a very strong position. So on the plus side, the mayor is leaving the village in a good financial shape for the next individual to carry the torch. And that's a positive thing that I will report to you as part of the audit. In addition to the financial statements we audit, we also have what I call the gas report. It's a 2-page document. It's a report we're required to issue under government auditing standards. And this is the document where we would report any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies or material noncompliance. And as you read this document, you'll see that there are none. So there are no control matters that we will report to you and no material noncompliance that you should be aware of as a result of our audit. So again, another clean opinion, if you will, on that report. The last thing that I'll walk you through is what I call our required communications. This is a separate letter that we give to you folks annually, and it's basically a very prescribed letter. There's things we're supposed to tell you when we do an audit in accordance with professional standards, and I'll just highlight a few of those items to you folks now. So as I flip past the cover, preferability and our accounting policies and practices. We obviously review the village's accounting policies and practices. We determine those to be appropriate for the presentation of the 2019 statements. We again make reference here that the village adopted ASPE Statement 75, which you were required to. It's not like you had a choice. It was a requirement to comply with US GAAP. There were no significant unusual transactions. We also evaluated management's judgments and estimates. So if there was any subjectivity when it came to determining a number, we looked at those inputs and the assumptions used to measure those items, including potential management bias, and we concluded that management's accounting estimates were reasonable. There were no audit adjustments, and we are not aware of any uncorrected audit differences. Out of my portfolio of 50 or 60 clients, I probably have 2 or 3 that I can say there were no adjustments as a result of the audit. So that puts you in a pretty elite group when it comes to financial reporting. We had no disagreements with management. We're not aware of any other consultations, no significant issues, no difficulties encountered, and the required communications mainly consisted of an arrangement letter, a management representation letter, and a letter we provided to management with some ideas on how to possibly enhance internal controls, which I believe we discussed with you separately. Those were my prepared remarks. Obviously, it makes it easier when you have positive things to say, but as I remind you annually, this is a brief presentation. To the extent you have questions, comments, concerns during the year, Jeff and folks have my contact information. I'm always willing to speak with you. So if you think of something after the fact, I'm happy to meet and take your phone call. And with that, if there's any questions, I'm happy to address them.
Brendan, I'm happy that the report came out so well. It doesn't surprise me. I've had the opportunity to work with Jeff Tudor, our treasurer, almost 5 years now, Jeff. And I can remember when we interviewed Jeff for the job, we made the right choice, and we've been in very good financial hands ever since. And Jeff has just done a tremendous job, and that area is close to my heart. So, not that I'm close with the buck, but I do want to make sure that the village is on sound footing from a financial point of view, and I think we're in good hands with Jeff. Thanks, Jeff, and your staff also.
Yes. Yeah,
By the way, I think Jeff was the only manager. You actually cut your staff in half over the last 5 years, right? Then.
That office has, yes, gotten smaller over the
Right.
last several
And,
years.
You've really done a yeoman's job. Thanks, Jeff.
And it's critical because you as board members need accurate financial information to make your decisions. So without that kind of accuracy, it just makes it difficult for you. So it's nice that you have that assurance that what's presented to you is quality information as you go about your business.
And our fund balance is at the highest level, and our ratings are extremely high. So that bodes, our credit ratings, and bodes very well for the village. Terrific.
I just would reiterate that, having Jeff work with you, it's great what you're able to do. And Charlene, you and the rest of the village staff as well, in terms of the budgeting process that you work with the board on, and really keep things in very good line for what we can afford. So thank you.
Terrific. Brendan, thank you very much. Anybody else have any comments or questions? Thank you.
But as always, feel free to reach out to me during the year. Jeff does, and that's how we make sure that the audit stays on track and smooth. So thank you for the opportunity to present, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and
You as well.
and yours.
Everyone else.
Okay, we now have courtesy of the floor. Would anybody like to say? Don Mara, one of the great mayors in Dobbs Ferry history.
Very kind. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor-elect, members of the board. I wanted to come down tonight to wish Bob McLaughlin a fond farewell as being a member of the board and being a mayor. And as some of you may know, Bob and I are neighbors. We've known each other for quite a while. And I'm also very active in the village. I get around a lot. I talk to a lot of people. But Bob, I want to just express my opinion, and from what I hear from people, you have been an excellent mayor. Only one term, we wish you would go longer, but you have done a great job. And what I see is that your relationship with the residents is just the best. When you're mayor, you can't go anywhere. Sorry, you'll see it. But it's a great thing. When you're mayor, you are, walk down the street, people like to talk to you. And that, not always to say hello, sometimes they have issues they like to discuss with you. But you need the patience and the enthusiasm to meet with them. And that's what Bob has. And I just see it all the time. I'll be out cutting my grass or breaking my leaves, and Bob will go by, we'll stop the car. Where you going, Bob? The store opening, I'm going down. And it's one thing after the other. And what I noticed about Bob is that he doesn't miss anything. So he's been an active mayor, been an excellent mayor, and I'm just here to wish you the best, and also wish Mayor-elect Rosillo the best. I know you will do a great job, and I know you'll enjoy it. And so, Bob,
Thank you very much.
congratulations, and thank you.
Don, from you, that's very special. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. We're actually,
Enjoy it.
right before the meeting here, Don is the liaison to St. Christopher's Dog School. And so our mayor-elect, Vinnie, and I went over, and we had dinner, right? Early Thanksgiving dinner, so it was fun. So thank you, Don, for everything you do for the village, and you're still heavily involved in the village, and we appreciate that and your kind words. Thank you. Anyone else like Patty?
Moving from one of our most famous residents to perhaps one of the more infamous. First, thank you, Bob. You've been great. I've enjoyed your guidance and your help. I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more done, but it's been a difficult time, and I think you've been very fair, and I think you've been very open. I think, it's been good to have you. I wish you were staying another year, but I'm going to learn how to work with Vinnie. Already starting, being very friendly. I'm actually here not to thank you, though, or to talk about this. The kinds of things that have been happening under your administration. One of them is we've really been getting more aware of what we need to do in terms of transportation and in terms of how people get around the village. Whenever any of the projects come up, one of the major concerns that people talk about is congestion, parking, traffic, those issues. So the Sustainability Task Force, working close with the village staff, has put together an effort. We had our first meeting, which was last Thursday. And I'm not gonna say the names, but it was obviously the village government was there in spades. You were there, Charlene, a lot of other people from the village, the Sustainability Task Force, Police Department, Chief was there, Steve was there for the planning board, we had the school district, we had Westchester County in the room, which was really great. 511 rideshare, which I didn't know very much about, was there. We had representation from Legislator Shimsky's office. We had a bunch of people from Mercy, and this was hosted at Mercy. And I can't think of a better neighbor that we've got than Mercy College. I think their effort that day was tremendous.
It was.
And it was really impressive what they're doing towards what we were trying to deal with. We also had Master School, St. Chris, Cabrini, Children's Village, the Danforth, and Rivertown Square Regency. So we had a lot of the institutions in town that operate shuttle services, van services, who are very concerned about how their people get around the village, and there are institutions. So the idea of understanding better what their abilities are, what their needs are, how they can be helpful, and that's what came across best in the room. We didn't have anybody sitting in the room saying, well, this is what we need you to do for us. They all have the attitude of they've got resources, they've got abilities, what do we need from them? So I think it was a terrific day. I think it really bodes well for moving forward. Elisa, who's our chair of the Sustainability Committee, made sure that we had next steps. So a committee has been formed, looking at the idea of shared shuttles and the other things that we can do to do full transportation. This isn't about traffic. This is about pedestrians. This is about people cycling. This is about mass transit use, all the ways you get around the village and get to other places. Her second task was Rob Barron's going to work on our car-free day, September 21st, when everyone's going to be encouraged to not use their car. See how that works. And then the last is figuring out better ways that we can track our transportation metrics. Really understanding how people get around and what we can do to make things better. So I just want to, Donna, help put this whole thing together. She's our connection to the village board. I want to thank her for her efforts on this, because she's done a great job.
Yeah, I thought the meeting went very well. And it was, the
It was
attendance, I
exhilarating.
thought, was great. I thought-
Yeah, it was very impressive, and again, the enthusiasm from the institutions was, we had like 30 people there from 19 organizations.
Right.
So, and.
We had our school.
And lunch was great.
That's right, we had a turkey dinner, I
They
think.
served us a turkey dinner.
Turkey
It was
dinner
really
at that
very
also. So, Mercy College was really very nice to host it, and they went out of their way, and they've been great, I think, on more than one occasion to support us on a lot of these efforts, so. And Patty, thank you for your, I call you, I know, Mr. Festa. That program that's so successful every year is in large part to what you do to pull that all together. It is really a great day for Dobbs Ferry. So we don't want you, we want you to continue to do that in the future. It's great. Thank you. I think our school superintendent was there, and assistant superintendent also. So we had great support from around the village, and hopefully that'll give us a great start to make some inroads there. I know we've talked about it for years, but maybe now we'll be able to finally really do something with it. Thanks, Patty. Anyone else address the board? No? Great. Okay, I'd like to consider a motion to accept the financial statements for fiscal year ending May 31st, 2019, and the communication of internal control matters as identified in the audit to those charged with the governance and management, May 31st, 2019. Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Mazzillo, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to approve orders number 3, number 4, and number 5 for November 2019 as recommended by the village treasurer. Jeff, do you have any comments?
Excuse me, no comments unless there's questions.
Okay, motion. Trustee Taylor, second. Trustee Mazzillo, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to ratify the improvements to the soccer field at Waterfront Park by the aesthetic landscaping to be funded by Rivertowns United Football. This is very nice and generous of them. I'm assuming they use that field quite a bit.
Yes, they do.
So,
Yes, they do.
it's
Yes, they-
nice of
and
them
they've done
to
this before, too.
help support our efforts there to keep it in shape. That gets beat up quite a bit with all the use that we have
Yeah.
down there. So that's great.
I would just point out, this was recommended also by Kendra in the Recreation Department, so it's in line with what the village wants to do.
Absolutely, thank you.
Great, so do I have a motion? Trustee DeRozzi, second. Deputy Mayor Cassell, all in favor? Unanimous. Okay, consider a resolution to schedule a public hearing for the application of 115 roadway, which is St. Cabrini, to add a new parking lot on their property. And this public hearing will be held December 17th, 2019 at 7:30 PM. Trustee Nell, second. Trustee Sullivan, all in favor? Unanimous. Consider a motion to authorize the police chief to sign an annual agreement with the county of Westchester for the Stop DWI Law Enforcement Crackdown Reimbursement Program and Drug Recognition Expert DRE Reimbursement Program. So this is just our renewal, basically,
Absolutely.
and we're getting an increased amount?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. So it's the same amount?
Yep, $10,000.
Okay. Motion. Trustee DeRozzi, second. Deputy Mayor Cassell, all in favor? Okay, the minutes from November 12th, 2019. Do we have any comments on the minutes? No? Should I have a motion to approve the minutes? Trustee Nell, second. Deputy Mayor Cassell, all in favor? Unanimous.
I didn't vote box because I wasn't here. I don't like to vote on minutes where I wasn't.
Okay. So it's 6-0.
Mara, were you here?
Were you here last meeting?
No, actually, I wasn't. You can vote. I mean, Lori said you can vote. I just prefer not to.
You can vote if you want to.
You want
Right.
to vote more?
Sure. I read the agenda and the paperwork.
Good enough.
There's just no statutory requirement to actually adopt the minutes, so therefore, there's no prohibition against voting for that adoption if you were here or not here.
Great. Thank you. Okay, do I have a motion?
We did it.
Oh, we did?
You did.
Okay. So now we have reports. Trustee DeRossi?
I just want to publicly thank you for your service for the last 2 years. It's been very fun to have a selfie partner. We're going to have to train Vincent on that one. But thank you very much, Bob. You did a great job, and definitely it's been an adventure. So thank you so much. We're going to miss you. I also want to remind everyone that we have the holiday hustle on the 8th. Bob, you're coming, right?
Are you running?
Yes.
Do you have any other trustees running?
Nicole, usually, right? I do usually run. I'm not sure if I'm available, but I should do.
So it should be fun if you haven't registered. I know that Justin is still taking registrations. Our teachers are out. We have a lot of people that have come out of nowhere to register, so it should be a really nice, fun day. And I believe that we also have the announcement of our, somebody else probably had that information about for our tree lighting on the 7th. So it's a weekend full of fun in the village, so please come out and join us to celebrate.
That is a great event. That's on the 8th, right? The
Yes.
holiday hustle. And it's a lot of fun, and everybody, a lot of people are in costume, and we usually have a Santa somewhere around.
Motorcycle.
On the motorcycle. So it's a lot of fun, and I think last year we had almost 500 people there, which is a really big crowd.
Running, not just there.
Yeah, so it's great for the village. So if you can make it down there and run, that's great. If you can't,
And it's for a good cause.
yes. How much does it cost? Enter.
I would think that the last time was like $35. It wasn't that much.
35? Good. Okay, great.
Good.
Trustee Nell?
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, trustee.
I met you in the nominating committee, and so I'll start with that. We need more applications for volunteers for the nominating, for all of our committees and boards, and they go through the nominating committee, so fill out the form online, click volunteer now, I think, and then you can go through that and get on our boards. The Rivertown's Chamber of Commerce is having a holiday trolley that day before the holiday hustle. It's a holiday.
7.
And so that's from 11 to 5. You can hop on at Hastings and Dobbs and Irvington and go around and shop at all of the downtowns. And, you know, that'll culminate with the tree lighting at 5. Or 4:30. 4:30 or 5? 5.
4:30 it starts.
I think it starts at 4:30, right. And then this Saturday, after Thanksgiving and after Black Friday, is Small Business Saturday, so shop local then too. And that's it.
Thank you, trustee. And I think we may have a visit from Santa, right, on the 7th.
We've heard.
He'll be at
His
the
contract
firehouse.
is being negotiated.
Yes.
Trying to get permission.
A permit.
Yes.
Need a permit.
Thank you, trustee. Trustee Sullivan.
Thanks, Bob, for your service for the last
Thank
2
you,
years.
trustee.
And you were definitely a big presence in the village, attending, I think, almost every single event. And I think it was good for the village, and it's going to be hard shoes to follow that way. As far as announcements, the library, I encourage everyone to go to their website. They have lots of events. I'm not going to announce all of them, but they are having, the Friends of the Library are having a book sale with a members-only reception on December 6th from 6 to 9, and then a holiday pop-up on Saturday, December 7th from 10 to 5, so right before the tree lighting, and they're going to be showing the movie Gremlins on December 13th from 8 to 9.
Great, thank you, trustee. Trustee Taylor?
Yes, Bob, just to echo what's been said, I do want to thank you for what you've done for the village and all the time and commitment that you put in. One thing that's coming up, and just to remind everybody, Thanksgiving is this week, but it's not too early to get going on Toys for Tots. Liz organizes that very important, very meaningful year-end charity every year. You can send gifts to Village Hall, or you can do it, shop online and have them shipped here to Village Hall. That information is available on the website or through Liz.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Rizzo?
I don't have anything, so I just want to thank you for everything.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
I'm going to need it.
Well, you're in action tonight at St. Christopher's. I got there and Vinny was already Dr. A, who was the CEO there. You guys were already hitting it off very well, so that's great. It's good we have a good relationship with them. Deputy Mayor?
Again, thank you, Bob. We've known each other for quite a while, and we discussed your running when you first decided to do it. And it's been an honor to be your deputy mayor, and I thank you for your service. And
Thank you.
Your presence has been overwhelming. I mean, you've been everywhere. Everybody says that, and you've been a very good face for the village, so thank you.
Well, thank you, and I do plan to show up at a few events
Good.
in the future, so.
And just the one event I want to, the senior Christmas party is December 17th, so.
I have a few things. One is the Michelin-rated restaurants, Best of Westchester, the Cookery. Congratulations to them. That's a pretty big thing. And Dobbs Ferry does have many great restaurants, and it's really has become a happening place when it comes to that. So
Did you
there's
see Atlian on the cover of Westchester Magazine?
yes.
Yikes. We've
That's
gone
another
big
thing.
time here. Dobbs Ferry.
Yeah, it's really,
So
and we have
great.
many new businesses that are open. We had a few this past couple of weeks that opened, so that's great news. We did have the senior Thanksgiving dinner, which was great at the school, and I want to thank the school for doing that for the seniors. We had 70 seniors, and there were 30 students that volunteered to serve the dinner, so that was a lot of fun. And in fact, it was going on, I think, at the same time.
Same time as the conference.
So I ran from that over. So that was great. Did you mention the senior flea market?
No, I didn't.
That's 12/3, 11/8 and that's at the firehouse downstairs on Main Street. I also want to congratulate Herb Rosenberg, who was named to the Senior Hall of Fame from Dobbs Ferry. So congratulations to Herb. I think Herb was our court, wasn't he?
Village,
In the
yeah.
court going back,
Justice.
so. And has been a resident in the village for a long time. I would like to say a few words about last couple of years, 26 years actually. My first love was the nominating committee, trustee Nell. I think when I was there, we appointed over 300 people to committees within the village. So, and it was always a lot of fun, and they always had a great holiday party. Are you still doing that?
Yep, it's just as big as it always was.
Anyway, that was always a lot of fun, and Patty, you were on it for many years, helped out tremendously, so thank you for that also. It was always a lot of fun, and always great to meet new people coming into the village that take an interest in the village and want to help out making this a better place. So that's great. I'm honored and humbled that the residents and the good people of Dobbs Ferry chose me to serve and represent them as mayor, to solve problems collaboratively, to improve the quality of life in our village. Our vision for the village contained common sense ideas backed with historical data and an understanding of how the village works. This included 6 major areas: resident safety was number 1, financial strength, infrastructure improvements, manageable development, open communications, and my favorite was fun. We improved resident safety, and Deputy Mayor Cassell had a lot to do with this, by implementing roadway engineering changes, enhancing educational programs. We increased our police force, creating a traffic unit to increase enforcement. We worked collaboratively with our school superintendent, traffic committee, PTSA, state, county, town officials to implement the school zone in front of the high school, lowering the speed limit from 30 to 20, and that, 25. And also lowering the speed limit on Ashford Avenue from 30 to 25. We implemented a early notification system thanks to our school superintendent and police chief, Mr. Barry and Rick Rivera, for all schools, public and private, including daycare facilities within the village, to help secure the safety of our children. We've also upgraded our police department and fire department with safety equipment, including 3 new fire department vehicles. Presently, we are seeking state support to re-engineer the Broadway corridor through our Route 9 initiative. The village was also, a few weeks ago, awarded the AAA Gold Star Safety Award, which was very big for the village, and thank you to the police department for that. We continue to improve financial strength of the village established by our previous board, Mayor Hartley Connett and Deputy Mayor Victorio. Our debt rating and fund balance, or rainy day fund, as I call it, are the highest, at the highest levels. We're the first village to support our county executive plan to increase revenue and implement shared services, yielding additional revenue to the village of $600,000 per year. We have never been more financially strong as a village, and I think we should remain so in the years to come. Thanks to you, Jeff, our village treasurer, and staff and the Citizens Ad Hoc Budget Committee. We have a terrific person that's taken over that, Ron DeRusso. I think he'll do a great job moving forward with that. Our financial strength allows us to do many things that improves our quality of life, and that includes infrastructure enhancements to our facilities and safety equipment. We began and completed much-needed infrastructure capital improvements, initiated again by our prior mayor and board of trustees, to our village of facilities, including the community recreation center, the Gold Park pool. There is water in the pool now. Legitimately. Mayor-elect, and I think you talked about doing a polar plunge.
Yes.
When that's, so I will be there for that.
Tape, we have it.
Memorial Park Village Hall was upgraded to hold the fire equipment. We reinforced the structure. The parking lot at 99 Cedar, the stairway to Cedar and Main Road Sewers technology, which is very important. That was one of the things on the shared services with the county executive, Jeff, was sharing technology, which is moving forward, and equipment. We encourage manageable development and analyze carefully the impact on our village, preserving our village's Rivertown charm and character is important as we work to improve the development process while balancing the quality of life, bless you, of our residents with the rights of private ownership. We continued open communications with our residents to improve responsiveness, to get ideas in, information's out, and solutions out. We greatly enhanced the library recreational programs, senior programs, thanks to our directors, Elizabeth Hobson, who's done a great job, Kendra Garrison in the recreation department, and Abby Cannett, who's done a tremendous job with the seniors program. I also want to thank the American Legion and the Historical Society for bringing back a really robust Memorial Day parade. And of course, I'm very proud that we have been designated a Purple Heart Village, which is great, really, for the village to recognize our veterans. We had many new fun happenings in our already popular programs and events, such as the Ferry Fester, Patty, thanks to you, and the staff for that. Really is a great day for Dobbs Ferry. And as Mayor Canette shared with me, Vinnie, I will share with you the secret of the weather for that day. Right, Patty?
You did it, man. You did it.
We also had events in the library, the Diwali celebration, and other events that they hold there. It's sort of, I mean, Trustee Sullivan is our liaison to recreation and the library, and both of those programs are just fantastic. So many new programs that are fun. We had the Halloween Fall Festival extravaganza, Field of Screams this year. I mean, it's one thing right after the other, so it's been great for the village. We also had the Chamber. I have to thank them. They brought to us the Rivertown's Public Market for the last 2 years, which was a great, I think, success for the village and really highlighted the village. And I have to thank the volunteers that pulled that together. We also have the holiday trolley. And on other days, we had other trolleys that were great for the village. And it really brought the Rivertowns together. The holiday trolley, don't miss it. It goes from Hastings to Dobbs to Irvington and back. So, and it's also a lot of fun for the kids. We also brought the fly back to Dobbs quite a few times. It took some trips from our docks there. So we got some use out of those docks. Our team working together has made the village safer, financially secure, cleaner, thanks to our DPW, sustainable, thanks to our really tremendous group in that sustainability team. Energy efficient, enjoyable, and fun. New businesses are opening. Residents are investing in their homes. Developments in the village and the Ardsley Bridge are completed, and our schools are the top in the country. I want to thank everyone I've had the pleasure to work with over the last 26 years. Thank you to the mayors, the trustees, village administrators, village clerk. Liz, you've done a great job. You actually really pull this meeting together every 2 weeks, so thank you for that. You probably know more about the village than anybody, so you've done a great job. And I don't want to forget Tots, right? The Toys for Tots, which we have here at Village Hall. So if you can stop down and bring something for Toys for Tots, that would be great. Thank you, Liz, for doing that. I want to thank all the village managers and their staff. They've done a wonderful job. The volunteers on village committees, commissions, and boards, the police department, fire department, the ambulance corps, library, the school superintendent, and public school officials, school chamber, school board, PTSA, and private school officials, the American Legion Post, 148, the Historical Society, clergy, the Chamber of Commerce, county, state, town, and local community leaders, the village attorneys and consultants, sports organizations, the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts who continue to help out in the village, and of course the Friends of the Library, OCA, and the waterfront that have been revived. And thank everyone for their hard work, support, and dedication to continue to make Dobbs Ferry a wonderful place to live, work, visit, and enjoy. Most of all, thank you to you, the residents, the good people of Dobbs Ferry, for your ideas, assistance, support, and confidence. We couldn't have accomplished as much if it wasn't for everyone's help. I enjoyed visiting with you, listening to your concerns and stories about Dobbs Ferry at the many events and programs. Although I'm very pleased with the progress we made and with many other things that we worked on, Due to personal reasons, I decided not to seek another term. This allowed time for a smooth transition to our mayor-elect, Vinnie Rizzillo. Vinnie, good luck to you. You're going to do a great job. We were talking a little bit on the way over here. You'll do a wonderful job. I know it's a little, for me, it was a little overwhelming, and I know it will be at first for you, but we're all here, the prior mayors, prior trustees, and we're all here to continue to help to make it great. So thank you all. I know that was a little bit long, but thank you for staying and listening. And my family back here, Delaware and Patty, thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate it. Do I have to take a motion to close? Lloyd?
You want to
You do. And you want to bang that
I
gavel?
want to bang that one more time. Can I have a motion to close the meeting? Trustee Rizzo, second. Trustee Taylor, all in favor? Meeting adjourned.
And happy Thanksgiving to you all.